फिर मैं और मैम यहाँ कैसे रहेंगे? आप समझ नहीं रहे. When when audience are coming, audience are now getting in. When audience are getting in, we should be in the waiting room, na? That's what I want to understand from you. Attendee आने शुरू हो गए, ठीक हो गया? What I want to understand now, this conversation, Colonel Menon says, when you are here, so there must be some command. You have any idea? Ma'am, any of your student or teacher or family member watching this program?
Should be, because I have given it to them.
No, I was just thinking if somebody is close to you, I just want that you should check up with them when we are in a practice mode now, and we have allowed the participants to come. Are they in a position to hear our conversation? That's what I want to know.
Okay, just let me check.
Just any one person who's confidential of yours.
Sure.
And we should have first slide now. Ma'am?
Yeah.
You can close your slides now.
Sure, I will. Yeah.
You can see this slide, ma'am?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So now, just ask someone.
Yeah, I'm just.
You are not getting me. It is only 6:55. We wanted to be in waiting room that time. समझते ही नहीं आप तो कुछ नहीं समझते. अब मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? जो लोग आते हैं ना वेबिनार में, शुरू में पार्टिसिपेंट्स अलाउ होते हैं, आके लॉगिन करते रहते हैं, जुड़ते रहते हैं और वेट करते हैं. तो आज आपको अपनी कमांड ठीक करनी होगी कि वेटिंग रूम ऑडियंस के लिए पहले से अलाउ करना होगा आधा घंटा. That's what I'm trying to tell you. कर्नल मैनन को लेता हूँ लाइन पे. जी अभी 6:55 हुए हैं, मैं कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ? अरे भाई आगे मत जाओ ना, अभी क्या कर रहे हो? Right, ma'am? It is 6:59, so we go here. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best, ma'am. I'm just rolling in now,
Yeah.
and with the blessings of the Almighty, there we go. So, very good morning to all our brothers and sisters in Canada, USA, Latin America, that part of the country where it's early morning, people have just got up, you must be going for jog, morning walk, holding your cup of tea, cup of coffee, enjoying yourself early in the morning. We extend you a very warm welcome to be a part of this particular wonderful journey, which we started on 5th of June on the World Environment Day. And I hope your environment is getting better. You're taking care of your health, your wellness. You're doing some yoga, some meditation, some naturopathy, some organic farming, and at the same time, positive thought process. So welcome to another green morning today. Welcome, hearty welcome to each one of you. Let me move from your continent to Europe now. All our brothers and sisters, those are in different parts of Europe, wherever they are, you must have enjoyed your sumptuous lunch. At the same time, as we advised you, take a healthy food, take a nutritious food, take a well cooked. That means the food which has been cooked in last 3 hours, eat that as per Ayurveda's recommendation, Ministry of Ayush and others. That food is healthy. But what you store in fridge and all for days together, it's not good for you. It's not good. Try and take a fresh food, whatsoever you can eat. From Europe, I am getting you to Central Asia. All my brothers and sisters, those are in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, wherever you are, you all join us each day. We extend you a very hearty welcome joining us this evening. From there, I move to Middle East. Middle East people are wonderful. Our Indians, those have gone over there, they are doing such a wonderful. And this evening also, we have got a very distinguished guest. I tell her, you are like a younger sister to me. That is Madam Prema Muralidhar. She's a director and principal, Woodland Group of Schools, United Arab Emirates. Before we get to her, before we discuss with her, before we hear her views, let me share a couple of slides with you so that we all are on a common frequency, those who have joined the program today. From Middle East, all the countries, let me get you to India. When I come to India, today my guest, so I start from Namaskaram. And from there, Namaskar, आप सब लोगों का शुभ स्वागत है। भारत में जहां जहां पर आप हैं, आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन, हार्दिक स्वागत। आज की शाम की इस शुभ संध्या में हमारे एक सिस्टर मैडम प्रेमा मुरलीधर, जो डायरेक्टर एवं प्रिंसिपल हैं वुडलैंड ग्रुप ऑफ स्कूल्स यूएई में, शी हैज ज्वाइंड अस। अ वेरी हार्टी वेलकम टू हर। और भारत के सभी राज्यों से, सभी जगहों से जितने भी देशवासी इस प्रोग्राम में जुड़ रहे हैं, आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। मैं थोड़ा सा आगे चलता हूं, एंड आई टेक ऑल ऑफ यू टू आसियान। आसियान, दैट इज साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, म्यांमार, कंबोडिया, लाओस, सिंगापुर, मलेशिया, थाईलैंड, इंडोनेशिया, फिलीपींस, Brunei, and also we get the people from Bahrain, those joined us every day. We extend this 650 million population, bring more and more people, bring more and more people as a part of this particular campaign and process. If education will be empowered, if youth would be taken care of, if the youth are happy, the world is happy. The youth competencies, youth skills, everything has to be focused on youth because they are future. They are tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, while extending a hearty welcome, let Australia, New Zealand and Fiji people have sleep, beautiful sleep in the middle of the night. They must be taking rest over there. We'll wake up them a little later. And of course, it's late night in South Korea and Japan also. But a lot of people join from there. I extend a very hearty welcome to all of you, those who have joined this program. Ladies and gentlemen, our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, which is a link between India and 30 million non-resident Indians world over, along with the corporate houses, whether in India or overseas, we extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you. Think good, feel good, talk good, walk good, positive, positive, positive. Making education relevant Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and every Saturday, Ayurveda for the global wellness at the same time. We all know that during this lockdown, right from the month of March in India, and of course, little before that in different countries, we had a lot of casualties, a lot of people lost their lives in Italy, in Europe, other parts, Spain, France, UK, and USA. Our deep condolences to all the departed souls and all to the families. We pray to Almighty that their souls should rest in peace. At the same time, cases in India are also increasing. We would make a humble request to you. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Please observe whatever has been told, the physical distancing, because if you take care of yourself, you are taking care of your family because you're not falling sick. And if you go to hospital, everybody has to be, whole family gets disturbed in that. So during this lockdown, we know the thought processes are affected. Businesses are affected. Physical and mental health is affected. Main part of the university, entire education system is affected. We all know it. And during the COVID, as per the UNESCO, almost 1.6 billion children are roughly at present away from their schools, colleges, and universities, and parents are taking care of them. Now, why education? Why school? Why colleges? Why universities? Why polytechnics? Why ITIs? Why do I go for skills program? Why do I go for competencies? What is there? Why should I study a particular subject, arts, commerce, science, medical, non-medical? Well, we will talk about that. During the industrial era, a particular kind of a pedagogy being adopted, a particular style of the classroom. So when we think from the Western philosophy, Western pedagogy, and particularly purpose of education, Western school of thought is there is an economic purpose of education. That means you get economically benefited when you educate yourself. Then comes social, then comes culture, and then comes personal, of course. Why a particular child is studying a particular subject. Remember, the first part over here is economics. When I come to India, ladies and gentlemen, Vasudev Kutumbakam, when we talk about it, that is Indian perspective. Our culture, our heritage, our civilization, our people, our brotherhood, our family bonding, all that will be taken into consideration. Culture plays very important role. Today, madam is from southern India. People early in the morning, I have seen they go to temples. They are so dedicated. They devote so much of time in southern India. Whenever I travel, and I must share with ma'am that when I traveled the entire Kerala, I went in Ayyappa's dress to Shabrimali. I still recollect when I went in those black clothes over there. It was altogether a different feeling. So ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, cultural, social, economic, and personal, that is Vasudev Kutumbakam, what we talk about. And of course, that means one world, one love, and one family is the concept which we have to talk about and we have to think about. During the COVID, we all are having difficulty. Educators are trying to reach students, children, wherever they are, by the TV channels, community radio, mobile phone, electronic gadgets, whatsoever is possible, they are trying to reach. Our chamber is also trying to reach out world over, and every day we have got a global beaming to help the youth and to help the teachers. As far as teachers are there, we are taking care of their personal and professional growth. And as far as youth are there, we are trying to keep them positive, keep them energetic, and keep them vibrant so that they all are happy wherever they are. We are working in that direction the best possible way. Our chamber, through our global finishing school, we are working in that direction. Now, education has to be relevant to my day-to-day life. Why do I study a particular subject? And at present, when the children are away from schools, colleges, institutions, parents, you should try and take out the creativity of every child. Keep them happy, keep them musical, keep them amusing, keep them laughing, help them wherever they can, and try and involve them in various activities at home. And when I think about teachers, oh my God, their role as an educator, as a facilitator, as a motivator, as a counselor, teachers are not less than celebrities. They manage the stage, that is your classroom. They have a vocal management, that is your delivery of the lectures, contents and curriculum. Content management, passion towards subject, creativity, presence of mind, empathy. They are celebrities in their own way. Now, all the parents, those who have got small kiddies, I would request you, please do not pressurize them during this lockdown. We know you are having a big challenge for a long duration. Children are at home, they are away from schools. Reverse the triangle. When you are having the conical at the bottom and you have got on the top educators and parents and you pressurize, do you know what's lost when we rush kids through their childhood? Reverse the triangle. Let the base rest. And when the parents and educators, when I talk about, you are there to take care of. And youth, when you understand what does youth want. That is very important. We have to understand. If we understand what is their thought process, what are their expectations, the world will be a wonderful and a better place. Why people do not want to come? Why I don't want creative and educative people aspiring to come to education fraternity? Why? Whether teaching profession is to be repositioned, whether this teaching career and teaching profession has to be made more attractive, where are we lacking? Where is the problem? We got to understand that pedagogy as well. And please, I would request all the principals, whosoever you are, wherever you are, do not give them too much of administrative work. Please, let them do justice with their subject. They should devote more time on preparing their lessons, deliver their lessons. When they keep doing a lot of administrative work, and then sometime you tell them to do a counseling job also. So how can you expect them to do a justice? Counseling is a highly professional business. Counseling is an art. Counseling is a very deep understanding of every child. And particularly parent counseling is also very important when we talk about. So ladies and gentlemen, when we think about children, of course, I missed one slide. I'll come on to that once again. I wish to share how to bring out the creativity of every child. Every child is creative. Every child is unique. They have got something very special in them. And we have to take out that creativity. It's our responsibility, joint responsibility as a golden triangle. Child is there, parents and educators together in the ecosystem. Let's make education more collaborative than competitive. World over, we all have to understand wherever we are having less imposition on rectification and more on collaborative and creativity, those countries and those children are becoming more innovative. How to make education more amusing, fun, stimulating, rewarding, interesting, innovative. Once you do that, everybody would enjoy. Why children enjoy gamification, games, music therapy. Very important. Very, very important. Positive dopamine. And I would request my speaker today who has come, she has to sing something in Malayalam. She has to give us something so that we all should reach Kerala. And right from Ponmudi to Thiruvananthapuram to Varkala to Allapi to Koilon to Trichur to Vaipen to Kottayam to Thekkady to Idukki to Periyar to From there, I'll take you to Tamil Nadu, Madurai temples. So music therapy is very important, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you every evening, if you're musical, and that's why the other day also I was telling, when you enjoy music, there is a positive dopamine. Enjoy your own language. Enjoy your own heritage. Enjoy music. Bring music into education. When music will be part of education, oh my God, it can do wonders. There's a lady from Assam, Dr. Let me recollect her name, it will come to my mind. So she plays violin, Sunita Bhuiya. She plays violin and she teaches leadership and management. Music therapy is very important, all of us, we have to understand. Sugata Mitra, great soul, Dr. Sugata Mitra, IIT, product from Delhi. He went to MIT in US. Thereafter, he came to Europe. And this gentleman says that kids do not require supervision all the time. So, leave them. Let them be at their own. If they will be at their own, there will be an evolution of learning, evolution of creativity. We started this entire journey on 5th of June this year because it's a World Environment Day. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, when I'm sharing with you this evening, wherever you are world over, and when you are seeing us on the Facebook, when you have joined us, when you are with us, water crisis is going to be the next problem in the world. There would be a war on the water crisis, water management, water sharing. There'll be lots of difficulties, lots of misunderstanding. Global peace will be disturbed on that. I'm forewarning you, our chamber has done a lot of research on that. Let's save every drop of water. Jal Sanrakshan. You've got to save every drop of the water. And we are carrying out this campaign till 15th of August, भारत के स्वतंत्रता दिवस तक. और हर रोज मैं एक ही बात कहता हूँ, ताल से ताल मिलाओ, सभी इकट्ठे ताल से ताल मिलाओ. We should walk together, move together, enjoy together. We should live together like a global family. And of course, let's take care of our environment. If we do not take care of environment, environment will take care of us. At present, we all are locked at home and animals are on the roadside. गंगा इतने पैसे खर्च करके भी क्लीन नहीं हुई थी और अब कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, नेचर ने अपने आप को क्लीन कर दिया. You got to understand that. So ladies and gentlemen, let's live with nature, let's respect nature. Now, every child today has to understand. Yesterday was a very important day. It was a World Youth Skills Day. 15th of July by the United Nations is being celebrated as World Youth Skills Day. Yesterday we had a grand celebration. We got the guests all the way from the ASEAN. We had people from Cambodia, we had from Malaysia, we had from Singapore, then we had come to India, we had a lot of dignitaries, then we had moved to United States, then we went to Canada, we had Latin America, we had Europe. We had so many guests yesterday. It was a wonderful starting. And ladies and gentlemen, each one of you have to understand, all power is within you. You can do anything and everything on this planet should you wish to do. If you're passionate towards anything, things will move. Every Saturday morning, we have got with you Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Every Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11, under the dynamic and dedicated leadership of International Buddhist Confederation Secretary General, Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya, we bring international celebrities, guests. Next coming Saturday, today I think is Thursday. Yes, today is Thursday. The next program which you are going to have, it is coming up just how many days? It's just coming up. And this particular program which is coming up, you will have 3 celebrities, Taiwan, Malaysia, and UAE. Today's guest is also from UAE, and this 500 million people following Buddhism, What is the relevance of Buddha's teachings in today's education? Join us coming Saturday, 18th of July, 9:30 a.m. in the morning, all of us together. You can come on the Zoom webinar. You can also come on the Facebook page, Dr. Gulshan Sharma, live. Open your watch party also if you're a youngster. Let more and more people enjoy and listen to what is the relevance of Buddha's teaching in today's education. Oh, Buddha ji is so nice. He's taking more time to be with us. So coming Saturday evening, you will have Ayurveda for global wellness, yoga, meditation, naturopathy. Sunday morning, wonderful morning. Who says Sunday should be a holiday? Sunday should be more productive. Sunday you should have more activities. Sunday you should have more fun. Sunday you should have more sermon. Sunday you should have more music. Sunday you should have more cultural heritage and your epics. Sunday morning, you have got Professor Satendra Dhiman from the USA Woodbury, Burbank, who comes living a meaningful life, Srimad Bhagavad Gita in today's education. Coming Sunday, he's going to talk about Bhakti movement. That's a wonderful which will come. And thereafter, we will be having integrative series of Srimad Bhagavad Gita with 10 principal Upanishads of India. It's a wonderful journey. Sunday evening, 5 p.m., we move to ASEAN, 650 million people in that part of the world. And these people join us. So 19th of July, under the dynamic, dedicated leadership of Shri Dato Ramesh Kodamalji, who's the co-chairman of ASEAN India Business Council, we extend you a very warm invitation to join us. Do join us. Our chamber, world over, during the lockdown, did a lot of survey, a lot of research, and the ecosystem which has been developed is, ladies and gentlemen, B2B will be no more known as business to business. It will be known as back to basics. That is our future. और छोटा सा अपने घर में ऑर्गेनिक भोजन, अपना घर का किचन गार्डन में, रूफटॉप में, जहां भी खाली जगह है वहां पर ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कीजिए, अपनी सब्जी खुद उगाइए, खुद अपना जीवन निर्वाह कीजिए। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आपको बता दिया है, आत्मनिर्भरता ही फ्यूचर है, भविष्य वही है। तो सब्जियां उगाइए, इसका बहुत फायदा होगा। बच्चे भी प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग लेंगे। इस समय पेरेंट्स, माता पिता को मैं अनुरोध करता हूं, बच्चे आपके साथ घरों में हैं, बच्चों को प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट सिखाइए, सब कुछ बताइए। उसी के साथ साथ हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट। आपकी फिजिकल वेलनेस एंड मेंटल वेलनेस both have to be taken. Education, when I come to the third part, the education in the future is going to have two things. One is blended learning and second is called flip learning. Both are going to take now center stage as far as the world education is there, and sustainable development is concerned. Sustainable. Everything has to be sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, this I come to the last slide of this before I bring my distinguished guest and the dignitary of today. It's a beautiful saying. It's so convincing to our mind. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Repeat this for yourself. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. When you conceive an idea and when you believe in idea, you can achieve that idea. That is the power and that is the conviction you got to live with. All of us world over, let's get together. Let's empower the base of humanity, and that is called the education system. Education, if this becomes real, if this becomes practical, if this becomes realistic with life, with living, with day-to-day life, it has got a practical pedagogy in life. It has got something to do how to live positive way. Then it is a meaningful education. International Chamber for Service Industry extends a warm welcome to all the dignitaries from the world over. Should you wish to be a panelist, should you wish to send any suggestion, send us an email at innovation@icsi.asia. And also down below, we have given you two mobile numbers. If you are overseas, add +91 followed by these numbers, and you can reach us. We are looking forward to 1 million family by 15th of August, Bharat ke Swatantrata Divas tak. But before we move over there, ladies and gentlemen, today is the first day after World Youth Skills Day, and what a privilege to have a wonderful, very, very dedicated woman from UAE who is otherwise from India, but the curtain raiser also shows life management skills. This book will be launched by the ICSI on 15th of August on India's Independence Day. So ladies and gentlemen, as doctors, nurses, and others, they all are basically, when we talk about, they are celebrities. Similar way, our dignitaries, those come on this platform, they are also celebrities. So, in a media entertainment style, let me host and let me be the anchor, extending a very warm welcome to Madam Prema Muralidhar, who is an educationist. She's a director and principal, Woodland Group of Schools at United Arab Emirates. She possesses over 36 years of qualitative experience in teaching, student management, administration, quality assurance, training, and development. She is active in research and development, academic events, and conferences, also a recipient of many prestigious awards. Ma'am, whatever I discussed with you in last more than a month from 5th of June, you deserve an award from ICSI also. We will honor you on 15th of August on Bharat Swatantrata Divas.
Thank
You are a great woman who has done a great work. I heard the entire journey of your dedication. Madam Prema's skills and expertise are immense, but to tell a few are quality assurance, enhancement, education leadership, career counseling, designing assessment protocols, strategic and operational planning, policy making, image building and branding, examinations control, team management, soft skill development, educational technology initiatives, ERP, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, as an elder brother, I extend a very warm welcome to Madam Prema Muralidhar this evening, all the way from UAE. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being with us. And now we give you the center stage. Evening is yours. Audience is yours. World is yours. Share whatsoever you feel like to empower the entire education ecosystem with the open arms. We all would be happy to learn from you, to know from you. Share as many innovative ideas you have got. Take as much time as you want. I have from today decided to get only one celebrity every evening because we are starting a new journey, and this evening is dedicated to the youth of the world. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Prema, please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Gulshan ji. I'm honored, and with your permission, I'm sharing my screen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a privilege, I should say, a privilege, a lifetime privilege that I've got just now. And as the quote which Gulshan ji said, that when the human mind begins to conceive and believe, then we can achieve anything. Going back 36 years, I still remember myself, a very ordinary rural lady, married to a government official who had no clue of what life had to offer. Someone, I mean, I get very nostalgic when I trace back my memories. simply because this woman who didn't even know to sign in a checkbook is now sitting in a corner of the globe with so many people looking up to me to see what I can give. And that's what life has given to me. So as they say, there is no substitute for hard work. If we have a vision and if we try and chase it, nothing is impossible. So that's my first, let's say, maxim, my first success mantra, that I kept chasing myself. I kept telling myself, I kept giving myself a lot of, I kept raising my bar every time I thought I did something good. And the effect is that it's about 36 years now, good 20 years journey in the Sultanate of Oman, where from school education to collegiate education to quality assurance department, to being in the minister's office, to be the only Malayali woman there in his office, to audit the colleges of technology, come back to India, try and see if all the experiences gained outside the world will come in handy, take school and scale its academic excellence. And you will not believe that nothing is impossible when you set your mind. And I realized that 3+ decades now, I have the skill sets to share with my colleagues. I have the skill set to share with the world that teaching and learning is just not a classroom affair at all. And while talking about all of those things, I will for sure be including a lot of my personal experiences, because I believe that, and the saying goes, just as they say, behind the success of every man, I would turn my tables and say the success of every woman lies with the success of having a great husband. And then I salute my man in my life for giving me an opportunity to explore, to get out of a small little place in Chennai and reach the globe, try and get in, understand the transformation and work towards it. So the overall view of what I wish to share with you this evening, once again, welcoming every single person, especially saluting all the teachers who are watching this, saying that the turbulences that has come now was very unexpected, and well done, and congratulations to all my educators, because we have proved to the world that we don't have to be in the silver screen to be known. We are everywhere around. We are in every corner of the house. Our names are being spelt by every parent. And as luck would have had it, this COVID-19 is a success story for all educators in the world. And I'm sure that any policy makers, any decision makers, any people who want to award people, please recognize and express your gratitude by saying thank you to the teachers who have come up. They have raised their bar to such an extent that we just cannot believe that it was these teachers who were told what to teach is now ruling the world by imparting education, and that too using the virtual mode. So the transformation is huge. I'll talk about that. And then the need of the hour, the mindset change, and how we need to move from the once upon a time rote memory to that of skill development now. What is the future? What does the future hold for our kids? And why is skill development important? After which, a few minutes for the questionnaire session. Having said that, I must admit to you that my life is my experience. If anybody thought that this teacher would, rut her life by living inside the four walls of a classroom, I am here to prove you all wrong. Because I started my career as a kindergarten teacher and didn't realize that, to go forward, all you needed was a little bit of push. The reflection that you do every day, as Gulshan ji was saying, it's very important to reflect on what each of us are doing, make life more meaningful. And then when you start asking the question, why are you here in this world? Are you going to say, I came, I went? Or you're going to say, I came, I saw, I conquered? One has to stoop, but then when you stoop, you reach the skies. So we should always aim for the mountain, but sure you'll reach the sky. Having said that, the 36 odd years experience, I have been able to see the entire education system itself evolving. What I'm talking about is, yes, we were once upon a time talking about Gurukul system. And where are we coming now to? We're going back to the same Gurukul system where they say that it's not what is written in the books that is very important, but it's what is transferred to you in your life, and how you make meaningful use of what you have learned is what education is all about. So this entire education system that has evolved is indeed something which is incredible. I mean, for people like me who've seen, and I'm sure there are many who have seen this too, 3 decades now, I just cannot realize how far we have come. And with the development, or with this evolution, has come in something called the confidence levels. Have we all not started to think about, yes, I can survive in this world, whatever be it? Have we not started to give that to our children? Now, how did it all come? It came because we were pushed in. Just that they say, when somebody asks you for a fish, don't give them the fish, but give them the bait to fish. That is what is required now. We need to equip our children. We need to change their mindset. We should not be giving all that they were asking. We should be telling them that you need to earn what you need to get in life. When you start telling all of this, definitely our children are future ready for sure. But somewhere, sometimes we are stuck and get, very much bogged down into something called a framework, and we get into something called a syllabus, and then we get into something called books. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we are all finishing the pages cover to cover, getting 100 on 100, or sometimes 120 on 100, and patting our children in ranks and so happily jubilating that our children are successful. Well, that is not what we need anymore. While marks are important, that should not be the factor for becoming a great human being. So while I was seeing this education system evolve, I must tell you that we talked about Gurukul system, and I am coming from the family of Air Force. My dad was a wing commander, so very strict discipline, very strict, rigid rules about how you need to behave, how you need to talk, how you need to, take care of yourself. What all we talk about, knowledge, skills, values, attitude, I got it from my dad. But he was not, a doctorate degree holder, or he didn't have a number of degrees. But what did he have? He knew that in life, if my children had to stand on their own feet, will they be ready for it? Is their life secured for them? What do I need to do for that? And that is when I'm saying, when we talk about skill development, I still remember my dad telling me that if you wanted breakfast, then you have to peruse the newspapers, just go through it and quickly skim through them and tell me what are the 5 headlines. Now, that is a skill, right? Now, who told us that those are skills, linguistic skills for communication is important? No. These are small things which you learn, when dad was taught by his, he had the opportunity of being taught by the British people. So I guess there is a difference in that. Now, these skills that we develop in our childhood is what sees our life. So it's an earnest appeal that now during the time of COVID, when all of us are going through a very sort of gray patch in our life, not knowing what the future holds, please support your kids in understanding, in making them understand that life is just not about looking into a screen and cramming something from the books, or neither is it a rat race for marks. It is something where we need to educate, empower our children, teach them to fish on their own. give them, or let them keep on continually asking us why, and be ready to give them an answer. Because the minute they start, asking questions, that means they are thinking. And when you say thinking, not the thinking, the normal thinking, but they start to think in real life. So I have seen that in my case of my own son, and I wish to say that here because sometimes personal experiences make a whole world of difference. I had a boy who was very average, who didn't get his marks properly, who said he wanted to become a mechatronics engineer, who said he wanted to, all the big things that can happen in life, but somewhere the marks were not matching to what he was saying. I considered him a failure in life. As a mother, as a teacher, as a principal, I stand guilty even today for that. Because what happens is we do not understand every child is born with certain intelligence. Every child is a winner. But because we do not understand what type of learner the child is, we often mistake, and then and the school system also did not give us that much of a leverage. I'm talking about a decade or more, where we were all sticking to one stereotype question paper, where we had inclusive education, instruction, differentiated instructions, etc. But inside a classroom, when it came, it was one stereotype of question. All children had to write the same paper. All children had one teacher talking time. And that was what life is all about. Now, when you have children who are very hyperactive, when you have children where the principal or the teachers calls you up every day to say and complain about your child, to say that he's misbehaving, he's talking, he's disturbing the classes, he's hyperactive, he's not doing his homework. When all the things were negative, naturally the tendency for any parent is to say why and try to reprimand the child. For once I decided, and I think while reprimanding the child, I might have even, said things which it was very bad for him, which was very detrimental for his future. Because when you get angry, we all say so many things. So why is it that I did not understand my child? It's because I didn't know what type of a learner he was. And when I decided to come out of India and then get into an international soil, and my learning started, my journey to learn, unlearn, and relearn, I realized that my child is definitely an intelligent child, but there is something wrong in probably the assessment pattern, and that's why his marks were not there. And that is when I realized, and I started to understand that there are different types of learners: the auditory learner, we have the visual learners, we have the kinesthetic learners, of which my son is one, who cannot sit in a class for more than 2 minutes, and then he gets very disturbed. And then you have this very beautiful word that a teacher would always say, hyper. So now such cases are what we have seen once upon a time. When I'm saying that my son was this, I must admit, and I stand corrected today, that I hang my head in shame for saying that my son would never get anywhere in life. And as God wanted it to happen, I pushed him over to England, studied in the University of Scotland. He finished his 4 years of degree with mechatronics engineering. The boy who could not get a 33%, who could not get a 60%, is doing this in the UK. And not only that, he came out being nominated for the Prince Philip Award, fetched him a scholarship, got him his IMechE, got his master's in power plant, and today stands a proud British citizen. Now, what I'm saying, when I'm saying proud British citizen, I'm saying that among so many people, he was able to find himself a position. I'm not proud that he's a citizen of a thing. I'm not saying that. I said he had to get it, but he got it where, it was a time when I realized that I was wrong in finding out what was actually wrong with my child. I did not understand. I did not take that extra effort to find out what is actually lacking in a particular learning system. But as luck would have had it, I came out, I understood in full. My son stands testimony to what I am saying today, and to the world that unless and until you understand the learner and feed the child with the strategies required to address him with that style, the child is never going to get himself equipped of anything. So this child who was a kinesthetic learner is the one who always wanted hands-on experiences. Now tell me, how many of us can remember having some eureka moments in the school? How many of us shouted eureka inside a classroom? How many of us were given even a chance to ask for any doubts? We were just listening. Today, the situation has changed. And especially now, in the last maybe about 5-6 years, we are moving towards a very clear-cut roadmap, and that is skill development, which is why we are saying today, having celebrated the Youth Day, Skills Day, it is so very beautiful to understand that our children cannot get anywhere if they are not future ready. And future ready does not mean cramming books. Future ready does not mean rutting inside a classroom or inside, four walls. They have to explore. They have to learn by themselves. They have to involve themselves into a lot of collaborative work. Unless and until the classrooms change into the blended learning mode. Unless we flip the classrooms, learning is never going to be useful anymore. And I'm so happy that in the recent past, in the last few weeks, we've been attending lots and lots of seminars, hearing a lot of people from the CBSE, ICSE and other boards talking about the change which is imminent, talking about, Tripathi Ji was there, Sahaji was there, Mr. Emmanuel was there. All of these people were focusing on only one thought, and that is we need to equip our students with these life skills. Now, life skills is just not, again, teaching them by books, but giving them an opportunity to explore, to learn, and to move forward. So while I'm talking, I will be sharing a few of the things that we are currently doing and I have been involved in, especially in the learning front, in the teaching and learning, which is the core of any institution. Let me tell you that mindset change is that we have to accept that TTT will be replaced by student talking time, that learner-centered approach only will take us forward, and that all our children should be shown the pathway to success. So we need to get them young, we have to catch them young, we have to understand what skill sets they are good at and be able to hone them, for which assessment protocols are a very important factor. Teaching, delivering, see, because I think we all know that the concepts are universal. Whether it is Archimedes' principle or Pythagoras' theorem, or whether it is Newton's law, whatever it is across the globe, it is the same. So while we are imparting concepts, while we are giving them something, while we are leading them from the known to the unknown, it is very important for us to understand that they should be very neatly framed, detailed assessment protocols to check. So what went wrong with my child? There was a mismatch between what he was gathering to the assessment protocols that existed at that time. So only when you blend learning with the right type of tools to assess and evaluate, can you be able to mark or give a particular individual roadmap. Now, every school, it's just not with marks. We cannot stop with marks. We need to give the parent a roadmap. We need to give the child a roadmap. We have to tell them, this is your strength, and these are the areas that you need to improve and work on them. So unless and until you have individual study plans, education is not going to become any more meaningful. Having said that, we also have to have a very important focus, and that is on wellness. Why wellness? Because we are moving into an era where technology has evaded the classrooms for sure. But technology cannot replace a school or its campus. Neither can any of its tools replace a teacher. Not at all. Teachers will never and never be replaced by anything. the emotional connect, the bonding that a child receives, the feeling that a warmth that the child receives from a teacher can never ever be replaced, come what may. However, we need to use both face-to-face and technology, combine it together, and that's what we talk of blended learning, where you have an online platform, where you have peer collaborative work, where you have face-to-face teaching going on, where you have portals network, global network, where children can get in and access different other forms of use other tools to educate and empower themselves. They don't need, see, information is already available. At one time, I think 2-3 decades before, yes, we looked up to our teachers, whatever they said, we took it and we tried to put it down. We understood something. Today, information is available. We don't need to tell a child anything more. However, what is more meaningful is this content transfer that we do is is very meaningful. The meaningful content, let's say the content that is delivered must become meaningful, and when it is transferred, the child must be able to use it in his or her life, which means knowledge, skills, along with it, the values and attitude. These 4 are the way forward. Now, having talked about that, it is very important for me to tell you about the future readiness, because I think we have heard a lot about all of these talks, lots of people talking about blended learning online, lots of challenges, but life is going on. People are innovative. I've seen many teachers coming out with different forms of, tools to transfer this online, so not the TV, just not the LMS or the learning management system or things like that. We have seen people using mobile phones. We have seen people using a mirror. With so many innovative stuff is coming because now children are all at home and they have to study. However, while we are not here to say which is right or wrong, learning has to become meaningful. Only then children will be able to take it. There is no point of pushing in information where they cram and then they have to go and put it down. There is no use unless and until. That is why meaningful laboratories, unless a school invests in laboratories, that place, the learning space is not meaningful at all. In other words, there is a need now to do what is called reverse planning, or in other words, the flipped classroom approach. The children must sit with their peer. The children must sit with their parents and brainstorm about the topic that is to be delivered by the teacher when they go to class. Now for this, I'm sure all parents are busy and they may not even like what I'm saying, but it has become very important that unless the teacher, student, parent connect factor is not established, children learning it has no meaning at all. Parents are now going to have a larger responsibility in shaping their child's future. They need to be with their child. They need to understand and they need to be a part and parcel of their growth. Having said that, when we talk about what is it that the future holds for our children, let us understand something, that these children, these kids, unless and until they derive some interest, so to create the personalized learning environment. Now, personalized learning environment means whatever they are going to be exposed to by the teacher, the passion must drive them. In other words, not every topic is actually much liked by all kids. So it's very important for the teacher to make groups of like-minded individuals and promote experiential learning, hands-on learning activities. The children, gone are those days when you say, okay, next week I'm going to teach you respiration and then start respiration. No, we, all educators, must give them support, must give them enough material, must ask them to do research on the topic that is going to be introduced. And I'm telling you all of this because we are doing it and we are doing it very successfully. You need to, there is nothing to say that knowledge must come and it should be given first only by the teacher. No, we are now in an era where children know far more than we actually know. So they need to own, they need to be accountable for their own lives. And each and every child has his or her own perception. The perception levels of children is what we should give autonomy for. There is no right or wrong answer anymore. Every answer is right, or every answer is half right or fully right, or even if you say no, we need to rationalize why it is. Because children today, they are actually sandwiched between so many types of protocols. For example, the teacher's protocol where she says, I'm asking you to do this, you learn this. The parent at home saying, no, you have a syllabus, you have 30 chapters, this book has to be crammed, only then you can make it to the exam. And now the child is saying, I don't want to do both. So where is he finding his space? He will find his space when you start introducing the concepts where he will internalize and start using it in his own life. Like for example, area, perimeter. Why do we need to give the formulas and ask them to come? Why can't we give some tapes, measuring tapes, ask them to measure the table, ask them to explore the classroom, ask them to find out the tiles? I mean, why can't they be given a project as they go up to sit with their father and say, okay, what is the square feet you have given me for my room? How much is mom's kitchen? Do you want to take a portion? It goes to budgeting, estimation skills. The skill development is very important. So rather than giving concepts, it is very important that we create a platform where these children will be able to get into their breakout rooms. Even now through the Zoom platform or through any other learning management system, through apps, there are so many different, you can get into breakout rooms. You can collaborate, you can brainstorm, then come and present. And when you present your ideas in a group, then ownership comes in. And then the child realizes, oh, okay, I learned this and there is some meaning. So the learning experience is so beautiful. The learning opportunities are amazing. And the child starts to actually enjoy learning. So while we say project-based learning, it's not that giving them to do a project where they can Google it and then find out and come and write. No, we're not here. Plagiarism of any sort should be discouraged completely. We have to give them projects where they will take own responsibility, and more than anything, they should be innovative. I was just reading yesterday a small little article where they said an 8-year-old, 8th standard child in the UAE designed a small, let's say, a gadget where children, if they are left behind in the buses and they sleep, the children below 8 years or 9 years, then the sensory the things there will find out that there is a child. It will create an alarm and it will give all the other people. Now, how did this 8th standard boy do it? He did it probably because there must have been some incidents that he's hearing. And he decides to find something on his own. He gets the help of teachers. He discusses it. He talks to his other friends. And everybody starts to motivate him. And there, the spark, he says, well, I'm going to find. And today, it is being patented. And that's going to be used in all the buses hereafter. So that's how it is. So life is all about challenges. And we need to give all of this. The skill development must come as part and parcel of everyday teaching in the class. So schools should now not invest in huge learning spaces with state-of-art facilities, etc. But they must invest in classrooms where more than one tool can be used by the children. where collaborative learning is promoted, where children will definitely be doing things to be very innovative. And as they go up, their practical lessons must be mapped. I always used to have this, like when a child is learning about refrigeration or he is learning about air conditioning or whatever it is, there should be a mechanical room in the school where the child can go and assemble and dismantle, find out for himself, so that when he is writing in an exam, the thought of how he assembled and dismantled, how he studied the parts is far more relevant than somebody giving it to him. So the future readiness, when I'm talking again, and when we are talking about skill development, it is okay. Numeracy and literacy is there. That is the basics, and all of us are fighting to make things happen as far as this numeracy and literacy is concerned. We know that there are schools which don't even have the foundation, but in a world where right now people are investing their time and more parents are getting, they're far more educated and they know what the child is, a lot of learning is also happening at home. And the foundation is being given. Forget about with constraints that yes, in the rural areas, we still have to work very hard. Definitely, there we are trying to bring in innovation, and I think the government is doing all over the world. People are working very hard now to see how technology can reach the rural areas. So while this transformation is happening, and where now technology has completely taken us, it is very important that from now on, what is going to impact us is this big time data. Now, what is the future? That it says that by 2030, people should be able to think creatively, develop new products and services, new jobs, new processes and methods, new ways of thinking, new enterprises, new sectors, new business models, new social models. In other words, what we don't really know is what type of jobs are going to be available, what type of skills should we teach, but we should prepare our children for tomorrow. And the world definitely is moving into that direction of data. That is why you will see social website management, data analytics. All of these things are going to become the norm. Why? Because there is a gap that we see now between what is education in terms of, what is it from an exam point of view, to what is it that future holds for the children. And many boards are trying to cut down the syllabus, trying to reduce, because just the virtual mode will not help them. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud to even understand that this cut down of syllabus is done with a purpose that these things which are removed, give it to the children as some project work. Let them learn. Don't remove it from the syllabus, because any syllabus that is framed has a continuity. And you can't just cut and slice off things and say it's not there. They have to learn it, but maybe they are not tested, but they can be introduced in some form inside the classroom, outside the classroom, collaborative work, give them project work. So while we say that, challenge is now, how can our children take the final exams with so much of disturbances? I think we are coming to realize that children should start taking accountability for their own learning. Schools should prepare children who will be able to, take their life forward with confidence. And for this, the school has a big role to play, where they have to intervene in what is called assessment protocols. Gone are the days where you give a test and give a stereotype test and ask them to do. No, a concept should not be done by the teacher. The concept, what you are going to introduce, must mushroom. The need for the children to explore what they are going to learn is the way forward. And I am of one kind who believes that examinations should be in the first. I mean, when we talk of exam, what we do is we take a topic, we teach, we give them notes, we ask them to cram, we give them some project. At the end, we give an exam and we'll say whether you have passed, failed, yes or no. Why can't we have it in the front? Why can't assessment come forward? Why can't we introduce the topic and tell the children to explore? Why can't schools get to first give them an opportunity to on their own understand what is it that they should learn, and then the teacher becomes a facilitator, just a facilitator who can tell them that yes, your thought process is right, but this is how it has to be done. So when we do that, when the assessment protocols are designed well in the form of, for once I can tell you that we are a school which have our own learning management platform. So we have a learning management system that caters to a 360-degree progression of a child. So the system is very user-friendly and can give the children an opportunity to download the material that they want to study, and also to get into the other reference materials to add to the knowledge that they have gained. As I told you, they are free to take the topics beforehand, explore, understand, use different forms, use the videos, use the projects, use the exercises, use the POP test. You know, there is something called prerequisite check. They can do it for themselves and find out whether they are ready to receive the concept. So assessment protocols, if I start talking about it, will take days, but certainly I should tell you that it is very important to design appropriate assessment protocols and have them in place, train the teachers to handle this assessment. Because not all children are the same. We all say that 10 fingers, all fingers are different. Same way, we have to say that the teachers have to say that children, all of them have different levels. So what is very important is tracking them, tracking that level. And how can you do that? Only when you ask a child to explore, and to explore from where the child is given, you do a cognitive test, you understand the level, and then you draw a roadmap. The adaptive tests and the psychometric analysis, these are extremely useful in tracking children's progression levels. Especially the psychometric analysis test, which at one time we thought only for 9-10, is very useful from the age of 6, because you will be able to identify what is the child actually interested in. If you can check his reasoning level, critical reasoning level, you can check concentration levels, you can check his numeracy, you can check his verbal ability, and also data interpretation. So all of these will help us give a very neat roadmap for the children. When we talk of skill development, what are we looking at? We are saying that these children, that we are the youth of today or the youth of tomorrow, must be ready to be able to stand on their own feet and be able to brave the challenges in life, right? So what skill is required? Now why are we talking about skill? Is because, as they say, learning you can cram and you can forget, but the skill that you acquire is something that it will last for a lifetime. So we have to focus on skill development, and I think that this will happen. And personally, from our experiences and from my experience in life, hands-on experiences, eureka moments inside the classroom, a lot of differentiated instructions, and the children exploring the learning themselves by turning them into researchers is the best way to enhance their skills. Again, competency mapping, as we are the learners, they have different skill sets, and it is very important that we map their skill sets and we give them what they want. This cannot happen when you have 40 children in a class. So how do you do it? You have to create the culture where children start owning their own life. In other words, I know what I'm talking look as if I'm talking in a world of hallucination, and not at all. Initially, there will be resistance, but it's very important to train the teachers. Once your teachers are trained to be able to understand your children, and if the teachers are trained to devise small pop test question papers, small papers that can test the level of child's, just not the cognitive level, but also the ability, give them hands-on, give them group work, they will surely come up, and that skill that they develop, the skill that they develop in order to be able to have a very good life ahead is simply amazing. But the most important thing is we have to ensure that the assessment tests, because to prepare children, you cannot do it alone. They are very effective when it comes to group work. So please promote collaborative work. They are very happy to explore and brainstorm and talk with their friends. A lot of their peer tutoring is what is actually doing good. So hence, when we are in a verge where the era ahead of us, when we talk about whether it is digital literacy, data literacy, the whole thing is going to something called data analytics. In other words, anything and everything is going to be centered around there. We didn't know what type of jobs are going to be available, but certainly the areas that we see are all what I have mentioned. However, while doing that, it is very important to ensure that we have physical and mental health. Now, sound mind in a sound body. And that is why even today, when we have classrooms where we are doing virtual classrooms, we ensure that exercises, yoga, music, any form of art should be integrated and given to children in order to be able to sit in front of the screen for long. Otherwise, it is not going to be doing them good. We are all under the impression that the schools have closed. There is no school now, so learning is not happening. While we must understand that our children have matured so much more now with all the turbulences that they are seeing inside every home. Sitting at home, the parents also with them, a lot of economically financial problems discussed, lots and lots of learning is happening at home, and children are all seeing that. Children are also being pressured because of that. They want to get out and go, but they aren't. So student wellness and so also staff wellness, the teacher wellness, or whatever you would like to use. This is two important areas which we should concentrate. While we talk about development, we need to also understand that what are all the very important key factors that we should concentrate. So if you want to ensure that the child gets all the skill sets ready to brave the world, then he should have it's just not cognitive level, but it should be the physical, mental well-being as well. And as Gulshan ji was saying, it is very important to understand and respect the environment that we are. So many articles that we write is sometimes very scary, because it's just not water. There's going to be a lot of changes, environment, and which is sometimes very, we feel very sorry. So we can see many pictures of animals coming into the roads, having their own life. We seeing so many beautiful things around us now because we are not around. So what it means by sustainable development is, it just says that children should be made aware, and children should move towards ensuring that they have an empathy, that they empathize with their people around, that they have respect for the people around, and respect for the society, respect for the surroundings. Now, all of these, if it has to happen, the books will not be able to give it. Books can give knowledge for sure. Books can give a lot of examples, but it's only collaboration and cooperation and a lot of battle of wits that can make children be ready for the morrow. So going forward, we need to know that from now, when we are looking at schools, we should look at schools where collaboration among children must happen. And collaboration across networks also should happen. Children should actually be given problem solving. Now, how can you give problem solving? How will you create? How will you be able to manage this problem solving ability? Is you throw them, as I told you before, it is very important that we give them what is to be taught. They explore, they have a number of questions. The teacher puts all the questions on the board and then begins to answer it, not by herself, but the children in the class. Learning will happen. And this will mean when groups of children start collaborating among themselves, creativity is at its highest. And they start even imagining, they start realizing that, okay, I am learning this so that I will be able to use this in my life. When we talk about agility, when we talk about adaptability, these are all things that we need to actually take care. We have to ensure that the schooling is just not with the books, but that even entrepreneurial skills, these are skills which should come in. And I'm so happy that the curriculum is getting revised. Children are starting to, bring entrepreneurship is coming in as a subject. And we are trying to bring in innovative projects so that they will start owning and they will start thinking about business. Business was at one time only for the, a certain particular lot. But today, children love to be on their own, and so are we. So the right skill development in a class, especially with grade 7, 8, 9, 10, if we can give them small projects to do, which they can collaborate, which is relevant for the current situation, they will be able to get those skills. And these skills should be assessed properly, should be monitored, and the gaps must be filled. So when someone does a project, it doesn't mean you give a project and then take it and finish it. No, there must have been a lot of thought process that the child has done. Where is it? How is it that we gauge the level at which the child has moved is what is very important. In other words, a good analysis of what a child is doing when he or she is in alone or when he or she is in group. This is what is very important, because initiative, when we talk about initiatives, any initiatives coming from the child by himself or herself is much more beautiful than we forcing it on. So we have to create the child to think. And when we say create the child to think, we are saying that give them, trigger them with some thought process and then start the class. So of course the prerequisite checks are always done. But when you want to talk about skill development, when we are talking about cognitive development, emotional development, social development, physical development, spiritual development, these are things that should become core factors of any syllabus. The reason is because all of these are interrelated. And when you do blended learning, this can happen so beautifully, because while you are giving face-to-face, while you are telling children to be on their own, while you are giving them an opportunity to explore themselves, you are also giving them an opportunity to calm themselves down and tell them, this reflection time, where is missing? We need to give children time to reflect. When anything, I can tell you for sure that I do not go to bed without reflection time at all. And that is the success of my journey so far. It is very important for us to tell the children, to educate them, to teach them that give 5 to 10 minutes of yourself every night before you go to bed. Think about all that has happened to you, what went right, what went wrong, and then how do you channelize it? And so that you either come out of not doing the same mistakes again, or you tell yourself, no, this is me, I'm going to get it corrected, and I do. So when we have to give children reflection time, the time should not only come at the end of the day, but should be 10 minutes at the end of every lesson. That reflection time only the child, see, we just cannot keep giving a lot. We can't feed 10 burgers to a kid, right? It always happens like that, especially in a school context, if I can remember. The reason why I'm so focused on a system-based approach for a school is this. Schools are all on person-centered approach. Schools are thriving, schools are following a routine where people are responsible for different things. It doesn't work. Because once one or two people missing, then there is a gap. The system-centered approach, moving from the person-centered approach to a system-centered approach, where at the 360-degree you have to close all the loops of every plan that you have for the school. Will see great schools. Every school is good in something, but every school is great in something. Now, it is very important to take that greatness, that strength, and develop, for which, again, it is nothing but planning, deploying. You plan something, you deploy, then you assess the results, you evaluate how it is, and then you go to what is called improvement. And the improvement must again go back to reworking on the planning. So it is very important for us all to have a cycle, what we call the quality assurance cycle, for anything that we do. Now, while we are talking about this very important topic of skill development, I think we need to brainstorm this first with our own teachers. We need to brainstorm this with groups of children, give them ownership to talk, because children becoming part, or children being a part of decision making in the school, especially in methodology, works wonders. And I can tell you for sure that the interest level of children are very high, and they don't crib for any work that you give, because they know that that is a student-led initiatives. So such student-led initiatives will give you a lot of time to understand their own skill sets and to polish them. Because for all of this, as we say, oral and written communication is very important. This communication factor, because today we find that communication is a challenge. Yes, thankfully, we're not, while we say that there are certain places where this is a challenge, generally children are good, and because of coming from good homes where parents encourage them to speak, to a certain extent, communication is effective. But I still see schools, as an assessor, I have still gone around and seen schools where English is taught cover to cover. How can English be taught? How can you use the book to teach cover to cover when you have to be delving on the skills? When you have to be teaching them how to listen properly, how to speak properly, how to write properly, how to read properly. So language is not a cover to cover thing at all. In fact, as an English teacher myself, I don't remember teaching any child from the textbook. The textbook, the chapters would be his homework for him to test whether he has understood, whether he's able to comprehend. In the classrooms, we need to give skimming, scanning, teach them how to look into an intensive reading, extensive reading. How do I pick and choose? How do I find the keywords? So when this is developed, what happens is the strength of oral and written communication is what the child will get if he wants later in life to have a nice, clean life where he has understood, because English is the base for any other subject. All the subjects are interrelated. All the subjects should be treated as an interrelated only. Topics that we teach must be interdisciplinary, must be taught between, there has to be there has to be a relation between. The concept that we want to teach is not just going to be departments in isolation. Departments must come, school departments must come together. Teachers must say, okay, I'm doing money. What can you teach for this in English? What can I do for that in this maths? So when the concept is reinforced a million times, the children don't need to go home and cram. So this interdisciplinary approach will help them, learn properly. Whatever they're learning has to be meaningful. Now, the most important thing is accessing and analyzing information. Information holocaust is what is happening today. Children get it. They don't have any clue about how much of information they receive. But do they know how to analyze it? Are they taught that how to take what is good and how to leave the rest? Are they taught what is important to me in life, what is not important to me in life? How do I, dissect this information and make it useful and meaningful to me in my life? Now, these are all skill development that should come from various subjects and not be taught in isolation. We don't need a communication class to be taught English. No, every single skill that we wish to develop in a child must be reinforced a million times while teaching by different teachers in different subjects. Only then can these children acquire the skills as they move along. Otherwise, we will have schools where we say finishing schools, where we say the child will come out, the student will come from grade 10, 12, will do his degree, will finish his degree, and then he will have to sit for a finishing school to be able to get into some form of work. Because today, it is always the survival of the fittest. If a child, and as before, opportunities were there and children used to look for those opportunities and they will apply. But I don't think opportunities are going to exist anymore. They will have to become what we call solution providers and stand out for the companies to call them. Then only the life, so for that, skill development is very important. They have to be equipped with all the skills necessary because they have to apply their knowledge. Now knowledge is in isolation. The knowledge that they receive must be applied, because how is this applied? And this has to be applied where? In their life. And how can that happen? When it is an unknown territory. They don't know what is ahead of them, but they should be able to distinguish what is good and bad and use it properly. Again, collaboration is a very important aspect, a skill that we should develop. In other words, children need, the youth of tomorrow need to understand the teamwork, being a leader, leadership qualities, teamwork, and how to behave in a team. These are things that will see them very successful in life. It is not necessary that you need to have all your facts and figures in your hands. If you know to be a good human being, if you are a good human being and you know to deal with people well, you know to respect people well, you know how to take ownership for the task that you have given, then the child can stand on his own. There is no need to say that I didn't train him for being an engineer, a doctor, or no. We have to give these the skill sets required to be a good human being, I think, is the need of the hour. Because today we are seeing nuclear families. Today we are seeing lots of exposure to things which we thought children should not see. Today we see children taking decisions on their own. Children do not want advice. Children are not wanting to accept what we say. We cannot give advice a child anymore. We cannot give a class and say, this is your value education class. You can't. Gone are those days. They will say, Mama, Papa, please, won't you stop this? They might even shut the door on your face and you have to take it. Because the reason is, children think that when they have crossed a certain age, they are now an adult. And they are also going through that space where they know that I am not respected as a child, I am not respected as an adult, I am sandwiched between the two, and my life is such a big hell. So instead of taking parents' advice, or let's say the good that you would want to say, it's always on the negative. It has been there long time back. It is continuing today, except that now children are a bit more vociferous. Children are a bit more, they react more. And sometimes, I would advise my parents not to have any expectations. It's always important. At one time we said, okay, we are educating the child, we're giving him good education, we're giving him the best of the schooling, we're giving him a good university education. Now when he goes to work, he will look after me. No. Expectations will lead to disappointments only. The reason is they have started to take their life they decided to face it boldly. So what happens is they are not, I mean, if you for 1 minute thought that gratitude, my child has to give me because I gave him all the education, then that is wrong. So what is very important is we need to create good human beings. We cannot ask them to love us. We cannot ask them to respect us, but we can always expect that they respect us, because if we give them that, what do we call, when we are there in their social, emotional, physical well-being, when we have a role to play, when we talk to them, when we have time for them, definitely there will be a change in their mindset. So what I would love to say is the world ahead is very challenging. Sorry, the time ahead is very challenging. We don't know what are the jobs that are going to exist. We don't know what are the skills that the child will require, but we know that if we are able to give him all the skills that is necessary in order to be able to stand on his feet, which is talking about being independent. And what is independent? Being responsible, and being responsible for your own decision. So decision making must be theirs. We should only be guiding them. We cannot force anything onto them, because that is why you find that children do not actually enjoy their adolescence, because they are forced to take a subject or a program just because of the parents' wish. So we need to move out of that mindset through different types of testing. I think, as I'm telling you once again, we have had some very good revelations, especially through psychometric analysis that we are doing. We have found that there are children in the lower classes with different abilities, and we can hone them. We can change them, because children have the adaptability level in the lower classes. They can learn so many languages. Their communication can become so very effective when you polish them in those areas. So what is very important is trying to identify the ways and means of how to develop skills, roadmap, define strategies as a school, sit and define the strategies, work on the strategies while concentrating on completing the syllabus and etc. Other things like that. Ample opportunities for students to take part in the decision making of various activities in the school. They will become great leaders. They have all that they need to do in their life. The rehearsal must happen in the school. What they will have to do, how to manage time, how to manage people, all of these tests should have been finished in their school time. That can only happen when you have a fair amount of activities included into the curriculum and imparted, nothing in isolation, giving them ample time to understand their skill sets and to give them a desire to own that skill and work towards honing them is the secret and the success mantra for them in their future. I think with that, all I have to say is it's been an awesome evening. I might have gone here and there. I had so much to talk. Please forgive me if I have moved from one state to the other. However, all I can tell you is life ahead is very beautiful. And we don't have to have the fear that where are our children going into? Don't become disturbed when you see their reactions. Don't be upset when they talk against you. Don't feel sad that they are not giving what you wanted. Because today we are in a world where everybody is just becoming a bit selfish. And when we say that we are all looking up to schools to be able to give them that knowledge, to be able to give them that skill, which is required for them to live in a world where they will not be left alone. So to take all of these things forward, we need an education system, a system where children will just not be confined to rooms, will just not sit in front of, have the books alone, but will be able to enjoy their. So more and more of learning experiences and learning opportunities is what we should give our children, from which we will understand the skills that they require, make a roadmap and give them those skills, and sky is the limit. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gulshan ji, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, my dear viewers. I'm sorry if I have thrown the time, but yeah.
No. It was such a wonderful session, such a wonderful session. It came from the heart, it came from the soul, it came from the spirit, it came from the experience, it came from so much of your passion. Each and every word which you used, each and every segment which you touched, they were so supportive, they were so good, and they were so informative that I'm so grateful to you. 1 hour and 14 minutes. That is remarkable from a lady. And on behalf of all my dignitaries, those have joined from the world over, people, those have joined this particular galaxy, making education relevant. It's a global confluence of educators, motivators, counselors, teachers. And since yesterday, when we had 10 speakers and we launched and we moved ahead, now it's a YES program, Youth Empowerment Strategies. You would be so happy to know that one of the organization in India, it's called Brain Pundits. They have developed a psychometric test for children, for teachers, for counselors, for educators, that soon we will be bringing them, we'll be sharing on this platform. But my little sister, you joined us today, today being the first day, very pious day, because yesterday was the World Youth Skills Day, and today you are my first center stage celebrity. And ladies and gentlemen, world over, I wish to share. Never ask the age of the lady. I'm not going to ask, but I must share with the audience world over that this, my little sister, had her birthday on 13th of July, and today is 16th of July. So just 3 days before. So it's a belated happy birthday to you. And as an elder brother, I send my blessings to you, best wishes to you. From all of us, you should do more and more, more and more, more and more, empower the entire education ecosystem, bring more and more people. You are far away at present from India. From here at present, we send you, and in your birthday, before closing the session today, I would just say 2 lines. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तू जिए हजारों साल, ये मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Prema ji, wherever you are. God bless you. It was a wonderful session. You open your heart today, how passionate you are in education. We are very fortunate to have you on this session today. And I request all the dignitaries, those are here, bring more and more people, bring more and more educators, bring more and more creativity, and we are going to have a lot of technology. I'm so happy that one of my mentors, Professor Dr. Nirmaljeet Singh Kalsi ji, who just retired as the Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Punjab, he also joined the forum, and I was so happy to read his comments in the column. Wonderful session, innovative session, pragmatic session. So that's a great saying if it comes from one of the mentors. So Prema ji, from the elder brother, lots of blessings to you. With a commitment, you'll bring more and more people from the UAE on this platform, more and more teachers, more and more youth, and everybody together. To the Honorable Prime Minister, we should give 1 million people on भारत के स्वतंत्रता के दिवस पर. इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आपके साथ केक खाएंगे एज एल्डर ब्रदर थोड़े दिनों के बाद. आज आपको अपनी ब्लेसिंग्स भेजते हैं. Wish you a great evening and a happy birthday, belated happy birthday. God bless you. and all the wonderful feelings and fragrance from all Indians and from the world over to you. People are showering their blessings on you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Great evening, regards, and namaskaran. Namaskaran.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.